Welcome to ROAV Perfect Classes. I am Dr. Rachna Rana. In this video, I will tell you most important questions of economics of class 10th according to Cbse or Punjab School Education Board. Chapter name is Sectors of Indian Economy. First question is important. Describe the importance of primary sector in Indian economy. Prime sector, which provides the basic needs of economy for food and mineral ores. First important point of primary sector is that it provides basic needs of economy for food and mineral ores. Now, second most important primary sector point is it produces some of the raw materials like jute, cotton, coal, which is extracted from mines for the industrial sector. And third most important primary sector point is the primary sector continue to be largest employer in the economy even in the year 2000. The reason being is that secondary and tertiary sectors still do not create enough jobs. And fourth most important point of primary sector is that in agriculture area, it provides a very large market of consumers. For the secondary sector, for buying finished products like clothes, goods of daily need and fertilizer, etc. Now again I will repeat its important point. First, it fulfills the basic needs of economy like food and mineral ores. Second, it produces some of raw materials. Like jute, cotton, coal, which are extracted from mines for the industrial sector. Third, it provides the agricultural population in the primary sector provides a very large market for consumers. For the secondary sector, for buying finished products like clothes, goods of daily use and fertilizers, etc. Fourth point, the primary sector continued to be the largest employer in economy even in the year 2000. Its reason is that still today in secondary and tertiary sectors they do not create enough jobs. That's why in the primary sector continue to be largest employer in the economy. Now, second most important question is, how can we create more employment in secondary and tertiary sectors in rural India? How can we create more employment in secondary and tertiary sectors in rural India? Its answer is, first, investing in basic agricultural infrastructure. Investing in basic agricultural infrastructure. Example, constructions of dams and canals for irrigation, which can lead to a lot of employment generation within the agricultural sector itself by reducing the problem of underemployment. First point says that we can create more employment in secondary and tertiary sectors by investing in basic agricultural infrastructure. Example, constructions of dams and canals for irrigation, which can lead to a lot of employment generation within the agricultural sector itself, and it is reducing the problem of underemployment. Second point, if government invests some money in the storage and transportation of crops, then it can create more employment in secondary and tertiary sectors in rural India. Second point says, if government invests some money in the storage and transportation of crops, because it makes better rural roads so that mini trucks reach everywhere. Many farmers can continue to grow and sell these crops throughout the year. And this activity can provide productive employment to not just farmers but also others, such as those in the services like transport or trade. I will again repeat this point. If government invests some money in the storage and transportation of crops, then it makes better rural roads so that mini trucks reach everywhere, and many farmers who can continue to grow and who can sell these crops throughout the year. And this activity which can provide productive employment to not just only for farmers but also others who are in services like transport or trade. Third point, providing third point providing credit at a reasonable rate of interest to help farmers buy seeds, fertilizers, agricultural equipments, pump sets, etc. In third point, we can say that we can create employment in rural banking by providing credit at a reasonable rate of interest to help the farmers for buying seeds, fertilizers, agriculture equipments, pump sets, etc. And that's why it can create employment in rural banking. Now, next point of why we can create more employment in secondary and tertiary sectors in rural India. The government can provide loans at cheap rate to the small farmers. This point says that if government or banks provide loans at a cheap rates to small farmers for improving their irrigational facilities, like constructing a well so that they can irrigate their land well and get 2 or 3 crops a year instead of 1. And thus more people can be employed in the same field. And that's the reason we can create employment in secondary and tertiary sector in economy. And fifth point, another way is to promote and locate industries the industries. Promote and locate the industries and services in these semi-rural areas. In this point, I want to say that another way is to promote and locate the industries and services in the semi-rural areas where large number of people may be employed. For example, by setting up a dal mill, opening a cold storage, by starting or promoting honey collections, etc. Now, I am going to repeat again this its answer. How can we create more employment in secondary and tertiary sectors in rural India? We can create, first point, we can create employment by investing in basic agricultural infrastructure, for example, in constructions of dams, canals of irrigation, because it can lead a lot of employment generations within the agriculture sectors itself, and it also reduce the problem of underemployment. The second way, if government invests some money in the storage and transportation of crops or makes better rural roads so that mini trucks can reach everywhere, and this activity which can provide productive employment to not only for farmers, it also provides to others. Those are in a service sectors like transport or trade. And third way, by providing credit at a reasonable rate of interest for helping poor who wants to buy seeds, fertilizer, agriculture equipments, pump sets, etc. They can generate employment in rural banking. Fourth way, by fourth way we can say that the government banks can provide loans at cheap rates to small farmers who wants to improve their irrigation facilities, like the constructions of well, so that they can grow the two or more crops in a year instead of one by irrigating their land through the well. Thus, more people can be employed in the same field. And fifth way is that to promote and locate the industries and services in semi-rural areas where number of large of peoples can be employed. For example, we can set up a dal mill, we can set up opening a cold storage, we can start or promote honey collection, etc. This is the answer of second question. Now I am going to tell you third most important question is explain the importance of service sectors. If in question written that explain reasons for the rising importance of tertiary sectors in India, then answer will be same. Which answer of this question explain the importance of service sectors? What are the importance of service sectors? If service sectors grow, then what will be happen, and what is the importance of service sectors in our life in Indian economy, and what are the reasons why? Tertiary sector, answer is tertiary sector or service sector. They both service sector, they play a very significant role, very important role, and its importance is rising day by day. Importance is growing day by day. And first reason is of importance of service sector is that greater the development of primary sector, greater the development of primary and secondary sector, more they would be the demand for services. According to first point, reason is behind of importance of service sector, that greater the development of primary and secondary sector, more there would be the demand for services, because primary sectors and secondary sectors are growing. That's why demand for services is also creates. Now, second point, second reason, service sector has become largest producer in India. Largest producer in India, because various kinds of services, because many types of the services like hospitals, educational institutions, post and telegraph services, police stations, courts, village administrative offices, transport, banks, insurance company, etc. are required. And third reason, even development of agriculture industry leads to development of services such as transport, trade and storage, etc. Third reason is, when development of agriculture and industry, then it leads to the development of services like transport, trade and storage. Fourth reason, with the rise in income, demand for more services also increase. Fourth reason is, with the rise in income, demand for more services is also rising. For example, we want to eat in restaurant. If we have money for going there, then there is a demand for services in restaurant. Their demand creates in services, demand creates for services in restaurants. For example, eating out in restaurant, tourism, malls, shopping complexes, schools, professional training. If you want to go there, if we have money, then we can go there. But if there is no one who provides you service, then how can you enjoy? So, for enjoying of the people, for fulfilling the needs of the people, services will be created in restaurants, in tourism, malls, shopping complexes, schools, professional training, etc. Now, fifth reason is, new services like IT, information technology, and outsourcing have become very important modern day trade and industry. Unfortunately, the rapid growth of service sector in India, it has not yet shown the expected corresponding increase in the employment. I will repeat again all points which are reasons for rising importance of tertiary sectors or services sectors in India. First reason is that greater the development of agriculture sector and secondary sector, there would be increase the demand for services. Second reason, Territory sector or services sector has become the largest producer in India because various kinds of services like hospital, educational institution, postgraph services, courts, village administrative office, transport, banks, police stations, insurance companies, etc. They are required. Third reason, even development of agriculture industries, which leads to the development of services like transport, trade and storage. Fourth reason, with the increase in your income, by increasing in your income, it increase the demand for more services. For example, eating out in restaurant, tourism, malls, shopping complexes, schools, professional training, etc. They need the services. Now, fifth reason is new services like information technology, outsourcing, which have become very, very important for modern day trade and industries. But unfortunately, whether there is a rapid growth of services sector in India, but rather it has not yet shown development in employment. They do not show the expected corresponding increase in the employment. Now, most important fourth question is, how can employment be increased in both areas, rural and urban areas? How can we increase the employment in both areas? For increasing the employment in both areas, we have to keep in mind that there are some ways which provide more employment opportunities in rural areas. First point, first way, which if we use, then we can increase the more employment opportunities in rural and urban areas. First, by promoting and locating industries and services. Industries and services in semi-rural areas. These points show that promote and locate industry and services in semi-rural areas. We have to promote and locate the industries in semi-rural areas where large number of people may be employed. For example, by setting up a dal mill, by opening a cold storage, by starting or promoting honey collection, etc. Second, promoting small scale industries. Second way is promoting small scale industries. How can we promote it, small scale industries? Promoting small scale industries, small scale manufacturing units, agro processing industries, providing loans for the same. The government or bank can provide loans at a cheap rate to small farmers to improve their irrigation facilities so that they can get 2 or 3 crops a year instead of 1. Thus, more people can be employed in the same field. Second point says that by promoting small scale industries, small scale manufacturing units, agro processing industries, and by providing loans to them by governments or banks at a cheap rates, so that they can improve their irrigational facilities, and small farmers can get 2 or more crops in a year instead of one. And this is the way by which we can employ more people in the same field. And third way, if more dams are built and canal water is provided to small farmers by providing or creating more dams and canals. If more dams are built and canal water is provided to all the small farmers, then lot of employment can be generated in agricultural sector. And fourth way, if money is spent in transportation and storage by providing facility of transportation and storage, in this point we can say that if more money is spent means expenditure, expenses. If more money is spent on transportation and storage by government, so that it not provide the service only for small farmers, it not provide benefits to small farmers, it will give the benefit to many other peoples who can be employed in transport and storage sector. And next point and last point of this question is, by investing in tourism and employing more youth in this sector, by investing in tourism and employing more youth in this sector. Now I will repeat again answer of this question. There are some ways by which we can provide more employment opportunity in rural areas. First way is to promote and locate industries and services in semi-rural areas where large number of people they may be employed. For example, we can set up the dal mill, we can open a cold storage, we can start or promote honey collections, etc. services. And second way, we can promote small scale industries, we can promote small scale manufacturing units, agro processing industries, and we can help them by providing loans at a cheap rates, and so that small farmers can take the loan from the banks at a cheap rate, and they can improve their irrigational facilities by growing 2 or more crops in a year instead of one. And thus we can say that more people can be employed in this field. And third way is that if we built more dams and canal, then small farmers can take the water from those dams and canals, and it provides a lot of employments it can be generated in the agricultural sectors. In fourth point, we can invest more money in transportation and storage, and it can not only increase the not only help the small farmers, it can not only benefit for the small farmers, it will be benefited for more many people who can be employed in the transport and storage sectors. And they fifth way, we can increase employment in this sector by investing more in the tourism, and we can employ more youth in these sectors. These are the 5 ways by which we can increase the employment in both rural and urban areas. Now next most important question of this chapter is, write any 5 conditions that you would consider before accepting any job. When we are going to taking a job, then we have to keep in mind some conditions. Then there will be some conditions in mind. What are the conditions when we before going to accept a job? We have to explain here what types of conditions or aspects which would we consider before accepting any job. Now, answer of this question is, before accepting any type of job, we have to some conditions which need to be considered apart from income. First, in first condition, include factors like facilities for families. What type of facilities given by a company for families, and what type the working atmosphere, and what's the opportunity to learn. First point is include factors like facilities for families, working atmosphere, or opportunity to learn. Now, second condition we have to keep in mind before going to take a job. A job may be give less pay but may offer regular employment. Means it provides sense of security. And in third condition, this job is and according to government rules or regulation or not. Rules of government or not. And in fourth condition, what type of benefits company will give, like paid leave, provident fund, and gratuity, etc. And fifth condition is, medical facility is provided by company or not. Medical benefits. I will repeat again all points of 5 conditions or aspects that we would consider before accepting a job. First point, in first condition, the first condition is that we should include these factors like facilities for families, what type of facilities for families, and what type of working atmosphere there, and what type of opportunity to learn. This first condition should be considered before going to take a job. Second, in another case, a job may give less pay but may offer regular employment. We think about that job will give you less pay, but it may give you regular employment and it enhances sense of security. Because on the other hand, if job give you more high pay but there is no job security, they also leave no time for family, then that job will not be good for you. In third condition is that the terms of employment should be under the government rules and regulations. In fourth condition is that the company should also give many other benefits like paid leave, provident fund, gratuity. We should all see these conditions whether there is present in your job or not. And in fifth condition, the employer also make provisions for medical benefits, safe working environment or not. A safe, secure environment may allow more women to take up a variety of jobs. And next important question is, write the main features of public and private sectors. What are the main features of public and private sectors which we have to remember? Now, its answer is, first of all, I will discuss about public sector. Public sector, then private sector. In public sector, government owns most of assets. Government owns most of assets. But on the other side, in private sector, the government does not own assets. The assets will be of individual person. The assets will be of individuals or companies. In public sectors, all these services provided by government. But in private sector, all services provided by individuals or companies. Individuals or companies. And third point is, in public sector, The main goal of public sector is welfare of people. Welfare of people. But on the other side, in private sector, the main goal is to earn profits, not welfare of people. And fourth point, in public sectors, people feel scared. But in private sectors, people do not feel secure. And in fifth point, government raise money by taxes and in private sectors do not raise money by by taxes. In 6 point, example of government sectors: railways, post office, and dams, etc. Constructions of dams, etc. On the private sectors, examples: Tata Iron and Steel Company, that is known also TISCO, Reliance Company, Reliance Industry, etc. Now I will repeat again answer of question number 6. What are the features of public sector and private sector? Public sector, the government owns most of the assets. It's second, all services which are provided by government. Third, the main motive of public sector is to provide welfare of the people, activities which are guided by interest of nation as a whole. Fourth, employees feel secured and there is a discipline and regular work. Fifth, government raise money through the taxes and for example, 6th point, railway, post office, construction of road, bridges, dams, etc. On the other side, in private sector, the ownership of assets is in the hands of private individuals or companies. The services are provided in the hands of individuals. Third point, activities in the private sectors which are guided by motive to earn profits, not welfare of people. And fourth point, private sectors, they do not give the, they do not feel in private sectors people do not feel secured. And sixth, and they do not raise money by taxes. Private sector charges high rates for the use of services provided by them. And example of this sector is Tata Iron and Steel Company, that is also known as TISCO, Reliance Industries, etc. These are the private companies who provide the private services. Now last important question of this chapter is, how can workers in unorganized sector be protected? Explain with example by both areas, rural and urban areas. Answer of this question is, There is a need for protection and support of the workers in the unorganized sector. By answer of this question is, first point is, in rural areas, in rural areas, this sector comprises of landless agricultural laborers, small farmers, etc. And second point, in urban areas, workers in the small scale industries, casual workers in construction, trade and transport, street vendors, etc. all are a part of unorganized sector. Small scale workers need government help for producing raw materials and marketing of their goods. And third point, the government must take concentrated efforts to ensure the workers in this sector, they will be got fair wages. I will repeat again. Answer of this question is, there is need for protection and support of workers in the unorganized sector. In rural areas, this sector includes of landless agricultural laborers, small farmers, sharecroppers and artisans like carpenter, goldsmith, etc. These farmers then need to be supported through the adequate facility for timely delivery of seeds, agricultural inputs, credit, storage facility, marketing outlets. We can support by these facilities to small farmers in rural areas. In urban areas, the workers in small scale industry, casual workers in construction, trade and transport, street vendors, head loader workers, garment makers, etc. These all are the part of unorganized sector. Small scale workers, they need government help for producing raw materials and marketing of their goods. The government must make concerted efforts to ensure that workers in this sector, they are not exploited, they can earn their fair wages. They must also be provided with job security and other benefits. This is the answer of last question. Now I will repeat all questions answer one time again so that you can clear each and everything. Now first question is describe the importance of primary sector in the Indian economy. Importance of primary sector. First important point is to provide the basic needs of economy like food and mineral ores. And second importance of primary sector is that it produces some of the raw materials like jute, cotton, coal, which are extracted from mines for industrial sector. And in third important point, importance of primary sector, because primary sector continue to be largest employer in the economy even in the year of 2000. And the reason behind is that in secondary and tertiary sectors they still do not create any enough jobs. And for in fourth point, the importance of primary sector is that the agricultural population in primary sector, which provides a very large market for consumers for secondary sector for buying the finished goods like clothes, goods of daily needs and fertilizers. Now, second question is, how can we create more employment in secondary and tertiary sectors in rural India? Investing in basic agriculture infrastructure like construction of dam, canals of irrigation, we can lead a lot of employment generations within the agriculture sector itself. We can reduce the problem of underemployment. According to second point, if government invests more money in the storage transportation of crops or makes the better rural roads so that mini trucks can be reach everywhere, and many farmers can be continue to grow and sell their crops throughout the year. And this activity can provide more productive employment to not only for farmers but also for the other persons who wants to service in the service sectors like the transport or trade. In third point, it provides the credit by providing credit at a reasonable rate of interest to help the farmers buy seeds, fertilizer, agriculture equipments, pump sets, etc. We can it can generate the employment. It can increase the employment in the rural banking. Fourth point is in this fourth point, the government and banks can provide loans at a cheap rates to small farmers. They can improve their irrigation facilities by constructing a well, so that the small farmers can grow the more than one crop in a year by the using of a well for the irrigation their land, and thus more people can be employed in the same field. Another way is to promote and locate the small industries and services in semi-rural areas where large number of people they may be employed. For example, they can be set up a dal mill, they can be open a cold storage, they can start or promote honey collections, etc. And third question is, what are the importance of service sectors and what are the reasons for giving rising importance of tertiary sector in India? First reason is that greater the development of primary sector and secondary sector, more would be demand for services. And tertiary sector has become the largest producer in India because various kinds of services, police station, courts, village administrative offices, transports, banks, insurance companies, they are all required. So it creates their services. And even development of the agriculture and industries, they lead to development of services because, such as transport, trade and storage, etc. With the rise in income, the demand for the more services is also increasing. For example, if we want to go outside for the eating anything, we go outside in a restaurant, we go outside in tourism, we go outside in malls, shopping complexes, schools, professional training, etc. There need be more services. New services like information technology outsourcing have become very important for modern day trade and industry. Unfortunately, the rapid growth of services sector in India, they have not yet shown the expected corresponding increase in the employment. Now next question is, How can employment be increased in both rural and urban areas? There are the many ways to provide more employment opportunity in rural area by promote and locate industry subsidies in semi-rural areas where large number of people they may be employed. For example, they can set up a dal mill, opening a cold storage, starting or promoting the honey collection by promoting small scale industries, small scale manufacturing units, and by agro processing industries by providing loans for same industries. The government or banks they can provide loan at the cheap rate to small farmers so that they can improve their irrigation facilities, so that they can get two or more crops a year in instead of one, and thus it can be implied in the same the it can be it can imply the more people in the same field. If more dams, if the more dams are built and canals waters are used by the small farmers, then lot of employment can be generated in this sector. If more money is invest in on the transportation and storage, then not only small farmers will be benefited from this, but other many other peoples they can be employed in the transport and storage sector. And by investing more in tourism and employing more youth in this sector, we can increase the employment in the both rural and urban areas. And next question is, what are the 5 conditions or aspects that would be considered before accepting any job? Before accepting any job, there are many factors which need to be considered apart from the income. First factor is first condition, there are many factors like the facilities for families, working atmosphere, opportunity to learn, and the job maybe give less pay or more regular employment, it enhances sense of security or not. And on the other place, if job give a high pay, whether there is a job security or not, they can give you leave for spending time with your family or not. And these conditions will be these points will be coming in your mind when you go to take a go to when you go to take any job. And the opportunity, the terms of employment as per the government rules or regulations are or not. The enterprises the enterprise also give you many other facilities like the paid leave, provident fund, gratuity, etc. or not. The employer also makes the provisions for medical benefits, safe working environment, safe secure environment may allow more money, more women to take up a variety of jobs. And next last question is, what are the main features of each of public sector and private sectors? In public sector, government owns most of assets. In private sector, government does not own assets. There is no government who does have own assets, because in private sectors all things will be provided by the individuals or companies. So that's why we can say that in private sector, ownership of assets is in the hand of private individuals or companies. And second point, all services are provided by government, and in a private sector, all services are provided or are in the hands of individuals. And third point, the main motive of public sector is to provide the welfare of the people and activities which are guided by interest of the nation as a whole. But on the other side, in private sector, all activities in private sector which are guided by the motive to earn profits and not the welfare of the people. And in fourth point, uh, the employees feel the secured in the government job, and there is a discipline and regular work. And on the other side, in private sector, job of all employees are less secured because they are due to the individual or individuals or companies, because their rules and regulations are not of government. And in fifth point, government raise the money by taxes but in the private sector, the private sector individuals or companies, they cannot be raise the money by taxism. They can raise their money by high rates for the use of services which are provided by them. And example of public sector is railways, post office, and dams, etc. And example of private sector are Tata Iron and Steel Company, TISCO, or Reliance Industries, etc. And last point of and the last question of the this chapter is that how can workers in unorganized sector be protected, and explain, giving example of rural and urban both areas. There is no need for protection support of workers in an unorganized sector. In rural areas, this sector includes of landless agriculture laborers, small and sharecroppers and artisans like the carpenter, goldsmith, etc. And these farmers, they need to be supported through the adequate facility of timely delivery of seeds, agriculture inputs, credit, storage facilities, and marketing outlets, etc. In the second point, in urban areas, workers in the small scale industry, casual workers in the construction, trade and transport, street vendors, head loader workers, garment makers, etc. are all a part of unorganized sector. Small scale workers need government aid for producing raw materials and marketing of their goods. And the third and last point of this question is the government must make concerted efforts to ensure that workers in this sector are not exploited. They earn fair wages. They must also be provided with job security and other benefits. These are the most important questions of chapter 2 of economics. Sectors of the Indian economy. If you like, then please click on like button, because it give me motivation to make more videos. And don't be forget to click on subscribe button if you are watching first time my video, so that you can get the notifications of next videos, and click on bell icon. Thank you.